Why do people feel the need to be just rude and ugly to other people on the internet? Why go on somebody's page and write rude, ugly comments about them when you don't have to follow them? You don't have to pay attention. This is not like it's life or death. Yet people will go out of their way, take their time to write rude comments in about the silliest crap. It's like some people just get a keyboard and turn into ass clowns. Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video and this week's episode of What Every Cruiser Wants. And you know what? This is going to be the Rude People edition. Right, because today, for some reason, they just picked this particular subject. This is 3 comments all about the exact same thing. It's more like a comment thread, but it's just rude. And for some reason, they felt that Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador, John Heald, well, he just needed some rude comments to make his day better, I guess. And you guys will see, there's no point to it. It's just not necessary. All right, so let's jump right into this rude comment saga we got going for today. And this all begins with Weight Watchers and Fitbits, somebody who likes to count their steps on board a cruise ship. And look, nothing wrong with that. You a step counter, count your steps. You like to watch what you eat, watch your weight, count your calories while you're on a cruise ship. Hey, not a problem whatsoever. You have questions about how things work when it comes to that. Not a problem. However, why oh why, if you don't know the answer, can't find the answer, your first go-to is, let's call somebody names. Let's make a rude comment about somebody else. What, does it make you feel better to just be ugly to another human being? I am going on the 2-9 Radiance Hawaii cruise, so it is important to me to track what I eat on my phone on the WW app and to track my steps with my Fitbit. John, you and your cheerleaders may think this is over the top, but when one has worked so hard to lose, and I plan to continue to lose while on my cruise, I just want to be able to monitor it. Please don't comment unless you've done one of these things. I realize this is very specialized, but someone surely has done one or both of these things. What I need to know is, do I need to get the Wi-Fi on the ship and the international plan on my phone to do this? I cannot find anything about this on Carnival help pages. I called 1-800-CARNIVAL, and the person I spoke to was next to useless. I could unsync my Fitbit and just sync to my phone again when I am at port with Wi-Fi, but then it seems like I would need international plan with phone. Or will it sync with Fitbit and WW via Wi-Fi without the phone service? I don't want to pay more than I have to, but I don't want to incur a $1,000 phone bill either. John, you may not care about your health, but I do. What needs to happen so I can do all of this, still lose weight and monitor my health? I need the help of anyone who may know how to do this. So first and foremost, how in the hell is the cruise line supposed to know what your Fitbit requires? How is the cruise line supposed to know what your Weight Watchers app, WW, requires in order to work while sailing out in the middle of the ocean? The cruise line can't possibly know what every app and every device out there is going to need. You're an adult, do some adulting. Do a little research, do a little bit of checking. Now, had you come on here and asked this question without all of the sarcasm and I'm better than you bullshit that you put into it, it probably would have been received a whole lot better. But you didn't do that. You put all your crap in there, the I'm so-and-so in there, and ended it with, John, well, you just probably, you don't care about what you look like, but I do. So I gotta say, why can't you write a simple, polite, respectful question in and see what kind of help other cruisers will give you without the damn attitude? I called 1-800-CARNIVAL, but the rep over there, well, they were next to useless because they don't know about Fitbit. Yeah, like they're supposed to, like that's their job and their responsibility. However, this does not end here. This did not stop here because somebody else decided to jump in and make a comment about the first comment. And of course, they got to get the rude in there again. It's almost like they said, well, the first time it wasn't rude enough. Let me pile it on. John, I am surprised and I am shocked that you did not know what WW meant in the OP's comment. It is Weight Watchers. I've been a Weight Watcher member for many years and wondered why Carnival does not have meetings during every cruise. I have cruised 4 times while on WW program and have never come back with a gain, but it was a struggle. John, having support from other WW members in a daily meeting would be helpful. There is also not much fresh fruit and vegetables. It is almost impossible to eat healthy on your cruises. You are fat, John. Say those words out loud, and that will be the first hurdle you can jump over, and then the hard work begins. WW meetings on each cruise is needed and would be welcomed by many Carnival passengers. So now it is the responsibility of Carnival Cruise Lines to set up and provide and organize Weight Watchers meetings on board the ship. Because according to this person, they are needed and they would be welcomed by many Carnival Cruise Line passengers. But I'm guessing if it was super important, super popular, and everybody wanted it, Carnival might be doing it, but they're not. Of course, you could have done it yourself, but no. It's the cruise line's responsibility to do it. But they're shocked that John Hill doesn't know that WW meant Weight Watchers. I don't know, maybe it's not popular outside of the United States. People seem to forget he's not from here, but they got to end it all. They got to end it all and say, you are fat, John. Why is it necessary to even put it in the comment? Yet the keyboard warriors, they keep on going. And again, it doesn't end here. It doesn't, because there was a comment made to John on this comment. And this next one, it's not about Weight Watchers. This one is just directly pointed right at John Heald himself. And let's keep in mind, this is John Heald's page on Facebook. Yes, he is Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador, but nobody makes you go there and read it. Nobody makes you be one of his followers. And if you don't like what he has to say, you don't have to read it. You definitely shouldn't have to post some crap like this. Being the brand ambassador comes with dealing with complaints. Being a brand ambassador that is always posting inappropriate and inflammatory comments enhances these complaints. You bring a unique flair that is either liked by the echo chamber or universally hated. I would venture to guess that you have just as many people who want to see you leave this position as you have followers. But Carnival somehow sees value in your inappropriate jokes and constant whining. John, I truly think it's time for you to move on and pass the torch to a person that will bring a more professional stance to this position and offer a voice for everyone, not just your little echo chamber. Your time in the 90s has come and gone. It seems all of your posts are your grievances or you whining instead of just doing your job and providing information and performing surveys. If you can't do it, then it's time to go. This isn't a good fit. So clearly this person got some issue with John Heald, his page, and the way he does his job, and that his day is over. His day is gone. It's time for him to step down because he's just universally hated. I don't know. Hold on a second. I mean, he's got over 600,000 followers on his Facebook page, but he's universally hated. He's on there each and every day that he can be, helping people, dealing with stuff, answering questions, providing information. Yeah, he makes jokes. I laugh. Okay, but he's out there helping people almost every day of the week. Take some days off. Who should? I mean, just like he should, right? He still goes on cruises. He has a cruise coming up on the Carnival Magic. It's his annual yearly cruise that he goes and he hosts. But his day is over. His day is gone. He's a thing of the past. Yet these cruises that he's on book out and sell out almost immediately. So I gotta wonder, is his day really over? I'm gonna say no. Eventually, sure, he's gonna retire. Eventually, he will be gone. And honestly, that's probably going to be a loss for cruising. Look at all the other cruise lines. They don't have anybody that does what he does. They don't have anybody that's on there day after day trying to help people out. And honestly, once John Hill leaves, who's possibly going to replace him? Carnival's probably going to become like all the others, and then nobody will have somebody to help them the way he does. Like him, dislike him, that's your choice. Read his stuff, don't read his stuff. That's your choice. But is it necessary to get on there? Call him fat. Tell him he doesn't care about his weight, and let him know, hey, your day is past, and you should be gone. Now, we do have one more for you today, one more. And since we've did the first half of this show was all talking about stuff that people have said to John Hill, well, how about something where we hear what John Hill has to say about a different comment? Because you know him, he's not going to be rude, he's not going to be ugly. I will take care of that part for him. I will put it out there how it really is. I'll say some of the things he can't say because he's a professional. But he did get another comment where somebody missed the ship. Not the cruise line's fault. Airline issues, stuff like that. They missed the ship. They tried to go join the ship in violation of law. And when they got there, they were told no. And then they were told, no, we're not reimbursing you for all of these things. They get mad. They get upset. Now, it's clearly because they didn't understand how a couple of things work legally. And this is something the cruise line can do nothing about until our folks here in government make a change. But let's listen to John Hill as he reads this comment and see what we think.
But something happened which is very, very important. And I'm going to read the letter out. And then I just want to make sure that we make people aware of this. It is very clearly written, and I'll come to that in a second. But I did receive this message 2 days ago, and it says, this cruise is not my first rodeo, but it is the first time I've ever missed the ship. This is all because of bad weather in Atlanta and a cancelled flight. We did not get to the Carnival Dream on time, so my sister and me decided to rent a car and drive from Miami to Key West. This is the first port of the ship. We were exhausted but excited to start the cruise, but Carnival refused us boarding. They said it was a breach of rules. They refused to listen, and the ship's officers refused to let us on the boat. We were then told there would also be no reimbursement for the $140 car hire, and then they told us we would have to pay for our flights to join the boat in Amber Cove. Nowhere is it written on the website that this is a rule. John, you need to make this right. Carnival should make payments to our flights and the car hire. This would be proper customer service from you.
All right, there's the comment. So they missed their flight. They rented a car in Miami, drove down to Key West, and they were not allowed to board the ship because of legal issues. But they don't want to come in and tell you the comment and say in the comment that it's because of the Jones Act. I'm sure that's what they were told by the ship, but they don't say that. They say they refuse to help us. They refuse to listen. They refuse to do anything. Then they refuse to reimburse us for our car and for our hotel. They refuse to help. Well, here's the thing. They leave out the parts where they can't help you because they're legally obligated. Okay? And if you book a flight and you miss your flight, or the flight is canceled in this case, and you don't make the cruise ship, sounds like maybe you didn't fly in a day ahead of time. However, you miss your plane doesn't show, whatever the case may be, you miss the cruise ship. At this point, it is not the cruise line's fault. So yes, if you want to catch up with the ship, it's got to be at the next foreign port, and yes, it is your responsibility to pay to get yourself there, not the cruise lines. Not unless it's the cruise lines who are involved in your airfare. That's a whole different subject. So yeah, their stuff got messed up. They missed the ship. That sucks. Hate to hear it happen, but you can't come around to the cruise line and claim that they didn't help you, they didn't try, they didn't do anything with you, they refused, and they owe you money, compensate me for this. No, 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 none of that works. That's called travel insurance. That's the short, that's the blunt. Now, of course, John Hill didn't give that answer. He gave a much more polite answer, and he did explain the Jones Act. So let's listen to John Hill's explanation of why they couldn't join the ship in Key West, Florida.
Nothing but sympathy for this lady and her sister who flew from Atlanta, was it? Or I don't know if they had a connection there, but it was cancelled. And they were not the only ones, by the way, who missed the ship. I do want to say that. They drove to Key West and they were not allowed on board. And here's the reason. Yes, you're right, Ralph, and everyone else who's saying it. It's the Jones Act. Now, this is extremely complicated, and I'm not educated enough to go into the nuances of this act. But basically, in its raw form, it says that if the ship leaves from a United States home port, it must go foreign. You must go foreign. The ship has to go foreign, and you have to go on that ship and go to a foreign port. If not, you cannot join in the next port if it's a US territory or part of the United States. And that's why some of the people ask, why don't we do cruises that just go to US ports, which, you know, if you're looking at, you know, up the coast of California or Nantucket and Boston and all that, we would love to do that, but it's prohibited by the Jones Act, which says you have to go to a foreign port. So because you these ladies drove to Key West, which of course is part of Florida, which is part of the US, they were not allowed to join the ship. It would have been a huge fine for them and for us, which is why this was stopped. And if you are ever going to miss the ship, if you think you've missed the ship and you want to try and join in another Alaskan port, for example, or Key West, or anywhere that is a US port or US territory, you can't do so. It's a breach of the United States Congress Act, which is called the Jones Act. Now, that's why the people, the ship's agent who you spoke with, these ladies spoke with, when you got to the ship, explained after checking with the ship that this wouldn't be possible without paying a huge fine. So I hope you have cruise insurance. I wrote that to you. I've sent a little something to your cabin because I know you joined yesterday, so you're probably not watching this. You did fly to Amber Cove. The ship did tell me that you've joined the ship, and I'm so very, very happy that you did. I sent you a little something to cheer you up. We can't pay for the car hire. We can't pay for the flights. This is all hopefully something that your own insurance will take care of. But it is part of the nuances of the Jones Act, which maybe one day will not be in existence, and it would certainly open a few other doors for bits and pieces, but that's way out of my jurisdiction, and it's probably best I don't comment on that anymore. I know the crew are taking brilliant care of you. I know they are, and I know that they're going to give you the best of times. So that's just a little insight into what is the reason why you can't leave from the United States without going foreign, and why you can't join the ship the next day if it is a US port. Now, if the next port had been the Bahamas or Grand Cayman, etc., then yes, absolutely, that would not have been a problem. So there you go. I guess we've learned a lesson, and I'll say it again: insurance is not necessary. Cruise insurance is not necessary until it is.
So you see how nice and polite he is? I mean, he's actually concerned. He actually, wished he could do more to help these individuals, but the cruise lines are tied legally. And yeah, he's so nice and so polite. Instead of just coming out and telling them, hey, well, yeah, you kind of screwed up thinking you were going to do all this, didn't check, didn't ask, didn't call, and now this is the end result. But hopefully that is an explanation for anybody who's curious. That is John's explanation of how the Jones Act works. So my question to you guys, what do you think? Should the cruise line have been responsible for paying for their car? Should they have been responsible for paying for their hotel? Should the cruise line have tried to help them out some more and just broke the law and paid the fines to let them on the ship in Key West? And after hearing all this today, who out there wants to be brand ambassador for a cruise line? Who would like to put up with this kind of crap on a day-to-day basis? Let me know in the comment below. I'm curious who's up for that role. And that's going to be our video this week for what every cruiser wants. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.